Solving quadratics with the square root property. This is our third way of solving quadratics. We learned how to solve by graphing, and then we learned how to solve by factoring, and now we're going to solve using the square root property. This is review. We've already practiced this before we went into our shelter in place. So let's go ahead and just review so that we can move on with our quadratic unit. So if we're going to talk about the square root property, then we need to define it. So for any number n greater than or equal to 0, so that means n is just a positive number. If x squared equals that positive number, then x is going to equal the square root of that positive number. But it's not only going to equal the positive part of it, it's also going to equal the negative. And I think you'll notice when we look at the example below why that is. So, for example, if x squared equals 81, then x equals plus or minus 9. Now let's think about that. We know that 9 times 9 is 81, but we also know that negative 9 times negative 9 is positive 81, because a negative times a negative is a positive. So every time you take the square root of a number, you're going to get two answers. You're going to get a positive and a negative of that number. So that's an important thing that we're going to use moving forward. Up until now, we've only talked about the principal root, which is the positive root when we were talking square roots, but now we're talking about both of them, the positive and the negative. So that plus or minus sign is just a shortcut way so that you don't have to write 9 and negative 9. It just implies and means that you're talking about both positive and negative 9. So here's our first example. X squared equals 25. Well, if I take the square root, use the square root property and take the square root of both sides, I get something that looks like this. X squared, the square root of x squared equals the square root of 25. Well, the square root kind of cancels that square, and I know that I get x. And I know that 25 is a perfect square, and its square root is 5. But remember, it's also negative 5. So my answer is x equals plus or minus 5. What that means for quadratics is that this quadratic crosses the x-axis at both positive 5 and at negative 5. Example 2, x squared minus 49 equals 0. Well, I don't have just something being squared on the left-hand side. I also have that minus 49. So I have to get rid of that. And so I'm going to use my equation solving strategies, and I'm going to add 49 to both sides. So when I do that, I get x squared equals 49. Now I can apply the square root property. So I take the square root of both sides. Well, I know that the square root of x squared is x, and I know that the square root of 49 is 7, but it's also going to be negative 7, so it's plus or minus 7. And again, that means that this quadratic crosses the x-axis at both 7 and negative 7. Example 3, x squared minus 100 equals 14. Again, I don't have x squared by itself, so I'm going to add 100 to both sides, and I get x squared equals 114. I apply the square root property, and I square both sides. But this time, 114 is not a perfect square. And so in the past, I've had you simplify these by leaving them with square roots, finding a perfect square that goes into it. But from this point on, I'm just going to ask you to round it to the nearest hundredth. So that's 2 decimal places. So I know that the square root of x squared is x, and if I put the square root of 114 in my calculator, I get 10.68. So I know that x is going to equal plus or minus 10.68. So this parabola crosses the x-axis at 10.68 and at negative 10.68. Well, this example looks a little bit different because it's not an x being squared, but it's a quantity being squared. Well, since the whole thing is being squared over there on the left-hand side, I'm good to just apply the square root property. So I'm going to go ahead and take the square root of both sides. So what it does this time is that square root still cancels that square, but it leaves not just x, it leaves x minus 2. and I already know that the square root of 25 is plus or minus 5. Now, I don't really care what x minus 2 equals. I want to know what x equals. So what I have to do is add 2 to both sides to get rid of that. So I get x equals 2 plus or minus 5. That just means 2 plus 5 or 2 minus 5. Well, I know that 2 plus 5 is 7, and I know that 2 minus 5 is negative 3. So this parabola, it crosses the x-axis at 7 and at negative 3. So this time it's not the same number, plus or minus. We have two different numbers where it crosses. Example 5 looks really similar, so I'm going to apply the same property. I'm going to take the square root of both sides. The square root of the quantity x plus 7 squared is just x plus 7. And the square root of 169, if you look at your perfect squares list, is 13. So I get x plus 7 equals plus or minus 13. Again, I don't want to know what x plus 7 is. I want to know what x is. So I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides, and I get x equals negative 7 plus 13 or negative 7 minus 13. Well, I know that negative 7 plus 13 is 6. And negative 7 minus 13 is negative 20. So x equals 6 or negative 20. So this quadratic crosses the x-axis at 6 and at negative 20. Example 6. Ooh, this looks like a hot mess. But I'm going to do some quick factoring for you. And you could do it using the box method, but I'm going to go ahead and do it for you. X squared plus 24x plus 24 just factors to x plus 12 squared, and that leaves 192 on the 192 stays the same on the other side. So I'm going to use the square root property to simplify this. So I take the square root of both sides. Remember that square root cancels that square, so on the left I'm left with x plus 12, and on the other side I have the square root of 192. Again, if you look at your list of perfect squares, 192 is not on it, so you're going to have to put that in your calculator, and you're going to round it to 2 decimal places. So I get x plus 12 equals plus or minus 13.86, so remember that's rounded to the nearest hundredth. Again, I don't want to know what x plus 12 is. I want to know what x is. So I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides, and I get x equals negative 12 plus 13.86 or negative 12 minus 13.86. And I just simplify, and I get x equals 1.86 or negative 25.86. So this parabola crosses the x-axis at 1.86 and at negative 25.86. So that's all the examples that I have for now. So I have created an assignment in Alex that's titled Solving Quadratics Using the Square Root Property, 10 problems. Remember, it's set up so that you can take it or do the assignment as many times as you want. You only have to go back and correct the ones that you got wrong. So make sure that you are doing the assignment, because this is going to be a credit or no credit. So to get credit, you have to have at least 6 of them correct. I would go through and make sure that I got all 10 of them correct. Just because we're going to be using this factoring and this solving method for a lot of other things. So you need to make sure that you understand it and that you're practicing it. So it's 10 problems. You can pull up examples, you can pull up hints along the way. You can go back and do it if you get it wrong. So try to do a good job on this. And remember, all your assignments are due by Sunday at midnight. That would be Sunday the I don't know what this Sunday would be. The 19th, I guess. So make sure that they're done by midnight. So good luck, and do a good job, and stay safe, and check for your assignments for next week on next Monday. Have a good day and stay safe.